Welcome into the Monday Night Quarterback Championship Week edition. This week we got something new for you. We've got three generations of Monfredi coming in. I've been badgered by this here 9-year-old sitting right to my left all season about coming on, sharing her thoughts. Lady's big into fantasy football, so I figure, we're on Christmas break. She's not got school tomorrow. It's Monday night. Clara, how are you?
Good.
Yeah? Why don't you tell the people what your name is?
My name is Clara.
All right. What team do you represent here?
The Land Sharks.
And then how long have you been asking me to come on this here podcast?
A few months probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you excited or nervous, or how you feeling?
Nervited.
Nervited. Some combination of the two.
Yes.
Okay. For those looking for Drew, all is well. A couple of sick kids. Him and I have been going back and forth about having a hard time linking up, making this here podcast happen during the RCFFL playoffs. So we had to call a quick audible. I got Clara here with me, and then I got somebody else with me on the other line as well. Sir, how are you?
I'm fine tonight. I'm actually better than fine. We got a hotly contested third place game, father versus son and granddaughter, and father's on top right now. Just keep Jameer Gibbs can run from here to Alaska. Just don't get in the end zone.
Well, they keep giving touchdowns to Jameson Williams. Drew would be thrilled to know that J-Mo has gotten the ball Waymo this week when it doesn't do him much good. You know what I mean? So what are you going to do? Pops, you got any sponsors today?
I do. I have Vernaccia. It's the only white wine made in San Gimignano, which is the Tuscan region of Italy. It's my favorite. It's all I drink, so I appreciate it. Shout out to my friends in San Jimmy. Here's to you. Thank you.
Ciao Bella. How about that?
Ciao Bella.
Clara, did you bring any sponsors with you today?
Okay. I have water. It's my favorite drink. Yeah.
So, hey, appreciate the people over at Water making this podcast happen. Thank you. Cheers to that.
Yes.
And then I also have a sponsor. This I've been spouting off as my favorite Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, a little Buffalo Trace. And I tell you what, two of our 6 listeners were paying attention because this was not this bottle, but one just like it was a gift from the mama and the papa on the other end of the phone. So thank you. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas to me.
Merry Christmas to you.
All right, we got some things to get through here today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start with the NFL wins like we typically do and our picks. Let me call up these picks. Bear with me just 1 second, and then we can run through our status as it stands currently. Pulling up the screen as we speak. Great for radio. All right, there we go. Papa, can you see that on the other end?
I can. Unfortunately, it's a good week, but yeah.
Yeah, talk to us. What's going on?
Well,
give us the update.
The 69ers are beginning to separate, unfortunately, with a week and 1 game left to go, which means 17 games still in play. And everybody that matters has taken Detroit this game, so that's a wash. So next week, he's got a 4-game lead over the club, 6 games over Bucknuts and Tsunami, and the Kirby Kings are 10 back, and everybody else, I think they're playing for 2025.
Yeah, I gotta say a quick something about our Sunday. As you can see, I'm gonna go back here. I'll let you know. We picked pretty good early. We had the Christmas Day games. We went 1 for 2. Thursday, nailed that. And then Saturday, we were solid, good to go. And then Clara, what did we do on Sunday?
So we were really busy.
Yeah.
We had to go to where did we go?
Denison, Ohio.
Ohio. And that's 2 hours from our house. And we were there basically the whole day. So we didn't really have time to do the picks or anything.
We lost focus is what happened.
Yeah.
Right. So we were there for a family photo. Mom's side of the family. Her grandparents had set this up a while back to get each of their 8 children. 8? Each of their 8 kids and all their spouses, kids, grandkids, so on and so forth. 88 people in this photograph was set up for Sunday at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock? 12 o'clock. So we went up, did church, went over right after church, did the photograph. 2-hour drive to get over there. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll ask the ladies to do the pics in the car. Totally slipped my mind. We get there. Church is at 11. Not a great idea to do the pics in church, although some have done it in the past. And then from the pew, we're going over to get into the gym so that we can line up this photograph. I'm carrying the baby.
It didn't actually happen until like 12:30 because it took forever to get everyone.
Some people were a little bit tardy, if I'm being honest. And you're going to have that. Next thing we know, I look up, it's about 3 o'clock. Clara was asking me who we picked at certain games. And you know what? We didn't make any picks. You know what I'm saying? So that's my excuse, Pops.
It's not good. You know what? A little bit of advice. If you peek ahead, my week 18 picks are already in, just in case something happens, like I fall asleep, whatever happens, I forget they're in there. At least something's in there. So pay it forward.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a good PSA. We could put that in the title of this episode, making sure we're letting the people know, we're here to bring value, just like we always do, typically.
Gotcha.
Thank you for that. All right, moving over. Papa, can I ask you one small favor? Can you turn your volume down just a little bit on your end for us? Thank you, sir. All right, moving over, we're going to the NFL wins pool for 2024. Now, this is a race that I think Drew had called a couple of weeks ago. Called it for the Renegades, who are currently sitting with 23 wins. But, if my trusted co-hosts were here, I think we'd have a little bit of back and forth, because now Renegades are tied with those 69ers, who are also at the top, as you mentioned previously, of the NFL picks, both with 23 wins. And then right behind them, we've got the Golden Titans, family show.
Yes.
And then the replacements at 21. I'm going to go with Clara here. Do you see these two teams up there, the 69ers and the Renegades? Are you rooting? Do you think that either one of those two are going to pull this out, or should we be worried about the Golden Titans or the replacements with just 1 week left and this game here?
Okay, so
I know you were talking about there was one team in particular that you were kind of rooting for.
Yes, I really don't know. I don't have an idea right now of who I think's gonna win, but I'm rooting for the Renegades. Mostly because a girl like me. Yeah.
Girl power.
Yeah.
Right. And,
Yes.
I think the Renegades got a good shot. Pops, do you think that the Renegades are going to pull this thing out, or are we going to have to worry about the Lions winning this game? 3-way tie with the Titans, the Niners, and the Renegades. I think the replacements are pretty much out of it at this point, but not mathematically eliminated from the tie, but mathematically eliminated from the win. What do you think? How's this going to shake out?
I believe the Renegades are not going to win because the Steelers are going to get beat next week by the Bengals. Okay. So they're going to end with 24 wins. The Eagles and the Chargers.
The Bills don't need that.
Both win.
The Bills don't need that game either.
I know, but they're still going to win. Who do they play?
I think they're favored. They're favored by 1, or like 2 or something like that. As Purdy runs in the touchdown over there. This is just a shootout.
Let's go to next week's schedule.
In the second quarter. I'm looking.
Let's see. So Baltimore will beat Cleveland. So is Baltimore a factor? No. Okay.
Baltimore's favored by something like 15 points against Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not a factor.
Buffalo is at New England at 1. New England's has the number 1 pick in the draft locked up. They do not want to mess that up. They want to take that Travis Hunter kid. And Mike Vrabel, the new coach Mike Vrabel, is going to be happy probably to take that pick. So New England will not win that game.
Bills are resting their starters for that game as well. I think the spread is literally 1.5 at this point.
Yeah, well, I'm just telling you, New England does not want to win and go to 5th in the draft. Because they do not need a quarterback. Drake May looks pretty good. So they're going to have a lot of capital to trade out of.
Yep, trading back. Mm-hmm.
So I think unless something happens, the Bengals do need to win against the Steelers. And let me see where that game is at.
I think it's in Pittsburgh. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not.
That's a Saturday game at Pittsburgh. It's Saturday night game at Pittsburgh. That's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because Pittsburgh, they're on a 3-game losing streak now?
Yes, but they've had a pretty tough strength of schedule the last 3 games.
Yeah.
They have lost quite a few. I agree that interesting is a good word for that game because the Bengals have been trying to find ways to lose games, but Joe Burrow and his heroic efforts, your classmates really like the Bengals, and they're always talking about how
Not my classmates. The boys like the Bengals, the girls like the Browns.
Got it. Okay.
Hey, go girls.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the Steelers, man, they've been playing some tough games last 3 weeks. Hard strength of schedule. They're finally playing kind of a team on their level. I think it'll be a good matchup. But what about the Niners? They got the Eagles and the Chargers.
Let's see. I think the Chargers are looking really good. Philadelphia is home against the Giants. That should be a Philly win on their 3rd-string quarterback, even.
Right.
And who else?
Chargers.
The Chargers. Chargers are on the road at Vegas. So that could be 2 wins.
Right. So it'd be interesting. We could have our first tie in this NFL wins pool.
Is there a tiebreaker or do we just split it?
It's a split pot in that situation.
I think there should be a tiebreaker. I don't agree with that.
The 3rd generation thinks there should be a tiebreaker. However, it's not in the rules. As we know from Commission 1.0, the rules are the family show rules. So I guess we'll have to address that in the offseason.
One day Clara's going to be sitting in your seat as the Commissioner 3.0. She can make adjustments then.
How about that? How about it? Well, until that point, we'll stay tuned and see what happens with the NFL wins pool for the rest of this year. I told this lovely lady to my left that we would ask her a couple of questions throughout the episode, and she can answer or not answer. But I wanted to ask you, take this moment. Is there a favorite NFL player that you have that you root for on Sundays?
I have my favorite NFL player is probably Marvin Harrison Jr. One reason why he's one of my favorite players is because he came from the Buckeyes, and I love the Buckeyes, and he was my favorite player on the Buckeyes. So, yeah. Yeah,
and he's so what NFL team is he on this year?
The Cardinals.
Yeah, and what fantasy team is he on this year?
The Kirby Kings.
Kirby Kings, yeah, who are in our division this year. So Clara was conflicted twice this year. We're going up against Marv, her favorite player, trying to get the wins. Fortunately for us, we did get the wins. Uncle Drew and I have talked quite a bit about Marv and how we thought he's going to be, better fantasy player as the years go on. Always hard for rookies, to have tremendous seasons. But he was drafted super high, if I'm not mistaken, maybe like a 2nd rounder by Bob.
Oh, in our league, yeah.
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 No, hard to pay off that value.
Kyler Murray's done him no favors.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. Kyler Murray seems to be in love with the Dortch guy.
Yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs is just, it's catching my attention over there. Long pass reception, not in the end zone quite yet, but there's a lot of yards racking up.
How'd you lose a point?
I lost a point?
Yeah. Did he fumble?
I don't know. Hold on 1 second. You're getting ahead of the game here, boss. No.
Where is he?
Oh, backwards. Ran backwards for 2 yards. Don't worry. Those carries they're coming back at us.
As I said, he can run to Alaska. It's only going to be,
Yeah, it's touchdowns. That's all we care about. All right. So thank you for that, Marvin Harrison Jr. explanation.
Yeah.
She's got a top CFFL teams that she roots for too, don't you?
Yes.
You want to list those and let us know?
Okay. Sure.
All right, go for it. What do you got? Top 3, top 4?
Okay, I'll do top 3.
Top 3. Ooh, I know who's going to be upset about this. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Number 1 is the Land Sharks. 2 is the Tsunami. And 3 is the Bucknuts.
Nailed it. So how do you feel about your number 2 placement there?
Well, I guess it's better than being third, but I don't know what's the guy got to do to be number 1 here.
You have to be my dad.
Well, I'm your dad's dad. That should count for something. That's like double.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Something
if it's not for me, you wouldn't have that dad.
Now, we gotta add. I mean, that's a good point. It's a good point you make.
But he's not the Land Sharks.
He's not the Land Sharks, and that's the crux of the situation. I got to ask you while we have you on the phone. Who do you think would be her number 4 pick if you were to guess? If you had to guess,
it sounds like from previous comments, it sounds like the Renegades.
Ooh, that's a good. Yeah,
no, she's saying no.
That's a good guess, though.
Yeah, bet MRM would have had odds pretty high on that one. That is good. Live betting would have been favoring the Renegades. Who is number 4?
Probably Logan.
Yes, the replacements.
Probably Logan. Yeah, everybody loves Logan.
I know. I mean,
what's not to love?
He's the richest man in the CFFL here pretty soon.
1 year in, he's already second in the money earnings. It's unbelievable.
I tell you what, what are we gonna do? All right, we got 3 games to get through this week here,
yes,
ladies and gentlemen. Let's start with the coveted toilet bowl, shall we?
Yes.
All right, coming up, pulling that up right now, and there we are. All right. 69ers have sewn this one up. Currently with 71 points. George Kittle is still going 1 point in his tally so far against Tom Kerr's the Big Daddy's Bandits with 40. And that's how the season will end. I got to give it to Kearns. He's done well. I think I said most of the year that he's better than his record gave him credit for. And Drew would always say, well, you are as good as your record says that you are. And here we are. But, he made it to the dance in the lower half of the league and gave him a fight. And then, these 69ers, man, we beat them in the last week of the regular season. I think the score was like 73-70 or something crazy like that. Feel bad for the dude because I think that if he was in the dance, he had a decent shot to win the whole thing, but just didn't shake out.
I posted it on the message board today. He is by far and away the best team. I mean, he scored 1,027 points this year, which has to be a record. Okay, every time you turn around, he's scoring in the 60s and 70s. How this gentleman lost 7 games is just unbelievable. And really, it's an unfair advantage. It's like a professional team here playing against a college team. He shouldn't be in that. He shouldn't be in the toilet bowl. Kearnsey's done a great job. To score 40, he's done fine. Nothing to be hanging your head about. But the 69ers are the best team in the league.
I know they are, and it is a crying shame that they're in the toilet bowl. But like you said, Kearns, for a toilet bowl scoring 40 points, I mean that's that's respectable.
That's a good number.
If you had a hat, you'd have to tip it to him, right?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, just look at the scores of everybody not playing. There's only 2 teams that would have outscored them out of the 8 that aren't playing. So it's not like he came in and laid an egg. He scored 40, but he's going against the best team in the league in the toilet bowl.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's just bad luck.
I feel like 71's too high for the toilet bowl.
It is. It is way too high. I think. Yeah, you agree with us, Clara. It's that I beat him in the last week of the regular season, and I didn't think I was going to win that game. And then I was going through the playoff standings, and I'm waiting to see where he's going to shake out. Was he going to be the 5 seed, the 6 seed? And we're going through tiebreaker rules and everything. Next thing I know, dude's in 7th place. And I'm thinking to myself, 2 things. A, how did this happen? B, thank God he's not in the dance because he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
He's a team nobody wanted to play. Nobody. Yep.
And then, nobody today was Tom. So our condolences, Tom. But congrats on the 69ers. What a season. At least he's taken something from it because he didn't get the division title. He did get the $50 toilet bowl victory. So round of applause for the Niners,
Yeah, hey, it's a good year. Unfortunately for him, he did less with more.
He did. Yeah, he kind of underachieved.
He really, I mean, coaches need to lose their job here.
That was my next question. Is he on the hot seat for 2025?
His coach should be. He fired I thought he fired his coach when I beat him. I have one of the worst teams in the league. Speaking of mismatches, I shouldn't be in the playoffs. I should be in the toilet bowl, but somehow I got in there. It's kind of like a reversal thing here.
Well, I guess the only saving grace for me, and I know you're looking ahead to this third place championship, is whether I would have lost to the 69ers and let him into the playoffs or gotten to this point and played you. I would have lost either way.
Mike, I hate to break it to you, but if you played anybody with this score this week of the 13 teams, you'd have been at the bottom.
Yep. But you know what?
At this point,
we did what we had to do to get here. Tell the people why we had a tough week this week. You know, because remember we were talking about this guy. We didn't even know.
Oh, okay. Well, our quarterback Anthony Richardson, we didn't even know that he got hurt. So. We didn't help us.
We told you about the family photo debacle. We couldn't, we didn't have enough wherewithal to pick our games, let alone find out if Anthony Richardson is all of a sudden surprisingly scratched and not going to play in a game. So had no idea. But luckily for us, even if we did know, Geno Smith had already played, and then Tua, he was hurt too. He didn't play either.
I have news for you. I was going to text you when I saw Richardson wasn't going to play. And I looked at your roster. I was going to say, hey, man, you need to get a quarterback in. I don't want to beat you like this. And there was nobody to bring in.
Nobody.
I was like, okay, never mind.
I'd have taken Geno's 3 points. That means that
my buddy had 32.
Yeah.
And Detroit's in the red zone now, I guess.
Yeah, Jameer just got a carry. We're down to the 10. Third and 5 at the 10. So let's see what happens. Probably another touchdown for JMO. Give something for Drew to be upset about. I think Jameer is going to get all 3 of his touchdowns in the third quarter.
Well, that would be something if you came back and won.
I know it's not. Hey, this thing ain't over. The RT Sports website, they're giving us a 2% chance down there. You see that?
It's not a lot.
Not a lot.
But we don't trust percentages.
We don't. So. She learned from her mother. We don't trust percentages.
No, that changes in a minute.
Yep.
And then, didn't you say 2 of our tight ends were hurt or something?
I did, yeah. So we had going down. Kate Otten's been hurt for a while. Will Disley was hurt for a few weeks. He just came back this week to play. I'm thinking, as Jahmyr Gibbs gets 3 yards, I'm thinking that, hey, Noah Gray's going to be a good person to put in there and play because I think he had outscored Travis Kelce as of like week 14. Had a few touchdowns coming into this last 2-week stretch, and then we played him the last 2 weeks. And look, he got a 0 and another 0. So he didn't do us any favors. Noah Gray, maybe we'll welcome him back to re-sign next year, but we're going to really have to have a conversation about, his role and making sure we're alive and ready to go in the playoffs. So not great there. But, when you got guys like Zach Charbonnet in line for a big-time role and then putting up 2, Jackson Smith and Jigba laying an egg with 1 point. Noah Gray, 0 points. Anthony Richardson didn't even suit up. I mean, it just makes it difficult, Pops.
Yeah, it was a really bad coaching job myself. I mean, coaching's won this game. If I do hold on, it's been a coaching win.
It has.
I sat there and saw J.K. Dobbins was activated. I jumped him right in like an hour before the game. He came through with 9 points. Josh Allen really underperformed this week to get only 15. I'm not used to that. And really what hurt me is Brandon Aubrey with 1 point. Come on, man. Mm-hmm. Come on. I mean, you could kick the ball if you get the ball at the 30, you should be able to kick a field goal from there. They don't even have to move it a yard. It's only 80-yard field goal. He's got that leg.
Best kicker in the NFL this year until this week.
But I scored more touchdowns this week than I scored in the last 2 weeks combined with my 5 other guys.
I tell you what, the Niners did less with more. You did so much more with so much less. I mean,
trust me when I tell you, I've been in this league since its inception. By far the worst team I've ever had. It's an embarrassment to look at these names and say, wait, where's the guys at? Where are the dudes?
If you'd have told me that we'd have held Josh Allen to 15 points, Claire and I would have been dancing right now on that
Aubrey,
page over there.
To hold my dynamic duo to 16, it should have been a runaway.
Should have been.
Yeah.
Should have, could have, would have. Can't die in the poorhouse, Pops.
Nobody messed up the draft more than I did. With the first pick in the draft, the tsunami the big wave got drowned by their own wave and took Christian McCaffrey, who scored 7 points, if that, all year. This is what I deserve. When you pick first and you make that mistake, if I hold on to third place, it's going to be one of the biggest coaching victories of all time in the CFFL.
I think your owner was talking, he was on a radio show earlier today talking about looking to give you an extension for the job that you've done with the team.
I mean, it's my best coaching performance. The worst GM performance, but the best coaching performance. Yeah.
You're like modern day Bill Belichick. Great coach.
I wear 2 hats. One was really bad and one was good.
You're going to have to fire half of you and then give the other half a raise.
I'll be back in 2025. New and improved.
Yeah,
right.
And we're gonna win that.
I know.
Next time.
None of this third place nonsense.
And,
but hey,
I am tired of getting beat by you and Drew. I am tired of coming over on draft day and saying, "Oh, here's an easy win," no matter who he has.
Hope he's in my division. Hope he's in my division.
Yeah, I hope he's in. Yeah. Well, now you got it.
You get what you ask for. Just be careful what it is. Congrats. We got to tip our caps to you, Papa. It looks
it's
like
not over, as you said.
No, 19 points. I mean, it's getting a little bit closer here, but somebody that just had a heart attack as we move over to the Super Bowl of our CFFL. There was a pass just thrown to Sam Laporta in the end zone, hit his hands, and then it was batted down incomplete by the defender. Would have done quite a bit to bring this game a little bit closer. We've got my buddy, the replacements here. They're done at 70, and then the club are sitting at 50 currently. They've got 2 guys left to go, Sam Laporta and Jake Bates. Jake Bates missed the first extra point that he attempted, made the second, currently sitting at 0. Sam Laporta, like I said, did not make that touchdown reception. I want to make a call to Logan and just a welfare check, see how he's doing. Do the same to Jason. Tried to do one to Logan. He wouldn't answer the phone. I think he's maybe having heart palpitations. He might be in the hospital.
He's in the bunker. Both managers are in the bunker right now.
Yeah.
The do not disturb sign is on both doors.
Oh my goodness. Clara, yes. I got to know what you think. So we got 2 guys left for the Players Club here.
I don't think they're going to win.
You don't think they're going to win?
No.
All right. Why do you think that the replacements are going to win this thing?
Well, is that guy still going?
Which guy? The tight end or the kicker?
Oh, never mind.
So the replacements all done at 70.
Okay. I was just wondering because,
the club, they've got 50 with 2 guys still to play. So you seem pretty sure of yourself, like 98% sure, like the RT Sports website.
Well, I don't.
Is it more like you're rooting for the replacements to win?
No.
You just think that's what's going to happen, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really funny though because I think we're gonna win our game, and it's like the same situation except we only have 1 guy, but I still think the replacements are gonna win.
Okay.
So I just that's what I'm thinking.
I feel like she's trying to tell us that her gut is telling her that the replacements are going to be the CFFL 2024 Super Bowl champion. Papa, agree? Disagree?
Well, I'll be honest with you. When this game kicked off, I actually thought the club had a puncher's chance here. I really thought, okay, if Bates can get 10 somehow, and then Laporta can easily get 10, this could be a really game. I didn't think it was over. I think, Jason is one of the glue guys in this league. He's great in the league, and it's hard to not root for him. He's had another great season. I think this is like 3 really good years in a row for him. But this looks like the clock is winding down on the club season.
Just like 2024, we're running out of hours. The club is running out of player minutes remaining as well. I agree with you. It's apropos. But the great thing about it is we're going to get a chance to watch it and see what shakes out. I tend to agree with my daughter here that the replacements are looking pretty stout, looking likely. But this thing can flip, on a dime. If we get a quick Sam Laporta touchdown to start the second half, maybe a little field goal or 2.
Hopefully not, because we want it to be,
Right. She's saying hopefully not. I'm impartial, obviously, as a commissioner. I just want to see a good game, give the viewers a product. Commission 3.0 allegedly talking about she's rooting for the replacements. So,
Hey, and speaking of the replacements, really, what a year for him. He gets married and wins. Nobody has ever got married and won the CFFL in the same year. Nobody.
It makes you wonder, like, how's the marriage going? Like, is enough attention being put into that?
I don't think so right now. I think she must be very understanding. When he's down in the bunker with the do not disturb sign on and not taking any calls from anyone, I think that's a discussion they probably had earlier in the season.
Yeah. I mean, that's the mark of a true partner right there.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll give you the honeymoon in season, but when it comes down to the playoffs, I'm in the bunker. So there it is.
I tell you what. So, hey, we're gonna keep track of that and see how it goes going forward. I have put together a little update because there's been some ambiguity about who's getting paid out for what, how much is this, how much is that. Let's go ahead and navigate ourselves over to that little spreadsheet right now. Bear with me one moment, just so that we can be forthcoming and transparent, as they say. Can you see this thing okay over there?
I can.
All right, good deal. So money collected total, allegedly. These are fake dollars, IRS, okay? If we were to hypothetically put in $110 for per team for the league, that would lead us to a total of $1,320. In the first three columns up here, you'll see the division winners. Each of us got $40 in the payout of this alleged fake money. And then for first place, still undecided. We were talking about that a moment ago right there. For Hundo, 125 going to second. 75 looks like coming into my pocket here after we get this victory. I'll share it with the lady. And then the eliminator, which was settled in like week 4 or week 5, something nuts. I think it had to be the earliest one. Players Club took that down. That's a $60 payout. NFL picks looking like 69ers, not sewn up quite yet, but we talked about that previously. The payout for that is $120. The NFL team wins. That's the one we were talking about previously as well with the spreadsheet. Could be our first tie as San Francisco pushes the field goal to the right. A miss, 21-13 with 2 seconds left. But yeah, that 120 is either going to go to the Renegades or the Niners or some combination of the two. Hopefully the Renegades over here to my left. Toilet Bowl is sewn up with the Niners. Looking like it could be a good year, even though, he didn't make the dance, right? With the picks, maybe the wins, and then, this Toilet Bowl. So it's $50 for the bowl, and then 77 pot to the man that can't play and not win something. So $60 is the payout for that as well. Any questions or thoughts on that, Pops?
Well, here's what I keep seeing the replacements popping up in this money thing here. And I think we're going to have a league-wide next year. We're going to exclude him from all money. Every game's going to be a Super Bowl for the team that plays, Logan. As much as we love him, this is too much. I mean, I'm looking at $40. $60 for the pot. That's $100 plus another $400. That's $500 on top of what he won last year. Enough's enough. We've been too nice and too welcoming so far.
He told us he was going to give us some of that money back this year.
Well, I'm calling a call to arms next year. The CFFL versus Logan in the replacements.
All right. We'll see. After he wins or regrettably would not win this championship game, maybe he'll come on during one of the playoff editions of the Monday Night Quarterback and share his thoughts about that. But, obviously he's a stout player. His record speaks for itself. Did you have something to say, young lady?
Yes. Okay, so I know I'm not in charge of the money amounts or anything.
Okay.
But for the 77 pot, doesn't it seem really hard to get exactly 77 points?
It does. Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
It is tough, and some people hit 77 in playoffs and don't win it. Other times, Logan, I think this is 2 years in a row that he's won it.
No.
Yeah. He won the big pot last year. Yeah. It was like 400 something.
I remember we got 78 one time.
Yeah. We got 78 one time, I think. And then I hit 77 this year after he already won the pot. Do you have any information about how this 77 pot came to be or anything about the genesis of it, or it's just
Dan came up with, Dan really, I think he did this mostly on his own. And, the only thing, I wouldn't change anything, but if I were to think about changing, I'm looking at some of these payouts, 125 per second and 75 for third, it could be a little more. But this is his blueprint. I'm fine with staying with it. It's worked well for 21 years now. So, but as far as the 77 pot, all I remember is him coming to me one day and saying, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And I thought, okay, we could try it. And I think I was the first one to hit it, so I've liked it ever since. But I really wanted that big pot one. Was like $560 or whatever it was.
That's when Logan won it. Yeah, last year.
Yeah. No, that's yeah.
We don't fact check on this here podcast, but I think there's only been 3 winners. You
3 or 4.
Yeah, you, Logan, and Logan are the only ones that I really remember.
I thought maybe somebody else hit, and I still think that should be we let too many people in the Hall of Fame. I think you have to win everything but the toilet bowl to get in the Hall of Fame. So therefore, there would only be 1. Just saying.
You can't be taking busts out of the Hall of Fame.
I'm just saying, if I'm the commissioner, if I'm Commissioner 4.0, I'm removing some busts.
All right.
If you win 3 Super Bowls, you should be in.
We'll make that as part of your platform then.
Yeah. When I run for commissioner,
just so that the people know. So go ahead. What's up?
There's only one problem with that. I feel that once you're in the Hall of Fame, that you're in the Hall of Fame forever.
I like what you're thinking, Claire, but I'm going to make a super Hall of Fame. It's one level above the Hall of Fame.
Well, I'm going to be
have to
in
win
that.
everything but the toilet bowl. If you win the toilet bowl, you lose points for the Hall of Fame. Hall of Famers should never be in the toilet bowl.
Why are you attacking me right now? I mean, come on.
It wasn't personal. I was talking about everybody in the toilet bowl, 6 teams.
Got it.
You're not in the toilet bowl.
No, but I don't know that anybody's won more toilet bowls than this guy.
You saw what I posted in the other link today.
I did.
Yeah.
Yep. And hey, facts are the facts are the facts. Now, if I'm in a toilet bowl, I'm gonna win it.
Yeah, give him the seat is what I said. Just give him the seat.
That's like his idea.
I know he's
really bad idea.
He can be a little bit crazy. Let's be honest. He's getting a little bit older. He likes it. He's got a lot of things to say.
I've probably been this way ever since I've been 15. So
fair enough. I think so. We had already decided. Everybody had voted in for the playoff best ball. Do you have any thoughts or questions about that while we have you on the line? Does it seem pretty straightforward about how that's going to go?
Yeah. I mean, when are we going to do this?
So next week we're off. Nothing's happening next week because the playoffs have to be set. So on Sunday night, the playoffs are set. Draft order is reverse draft order from the CFFL draft. So I'm going over to this tab here. So the order that you see right over here on the left-hand side is the order of how that draft is going to go, okay? Because that was the reversed CFFL draft order. So I got first pick, Drew's 2, Coyotes 3. We're going to do that in a text message, slow draft that we got to get through from Sunday night at whenever that game is over, so probably Monday morning until the first playoff game will be Saturday. So we got that many days to draft our 6 players, I think is what we said. 1 quarterback, team quarterback. So, for example, if you want Josh Allen, you'll be drafting the Buffalo Bills quarterback, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end, and then I think we said 2 flexes. It's in the text message. And then how
flexes?
Flex could be, good question, either a running back, wide receiver, or tight end. And then whoever has the most points over the course of the entire playoffs for all 6 of their players is going to win that pot. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and it's a snake draft, just so we're clear.
Yep, snake draft. So I'll have first pick of round 1, and I'll have last pick of round 2, first pick of round 3, just like we do in the regular draft.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Make a good decision.
Oh, I'll make a good decision. You can help me out.
Okay.
And then one other thing I wanted to ask you while we have you here. This going back over to the payouts. Our league fee of $110 has been the same since we've added the most recent addition, which maybe was that 77 pot, or no, it was the team wins. I think we upped it $10 for the team wins, but it was set at $100, I think, for quite a long time. What do you think about raising the number and redistributing some of that additional money to second place, third place, et cetera?
See, I'm pro that, as I mentioned earlier. I think, 75 for third isn't a lot of money. That's the one thing I changed because I used Dan's format in our other league pretty much, but I changed the payouts, and I do like that better.
Yeah. So what did you have for that instead?
I have $450 for the Super Bowl, and we put in 125 in that league. $450 for the Super Bowl, $250 for second, $150 for third, $100 for the toilet bowl, $125 for the pick'ems, $125 for the eliminator, so you get your entry fee back, and $50 for the division winners. And I kind of like that better, but that's up to everybody else.
Yeah.
Whose money would that be using?
So if we raise how much each team is going to put in at the beginning of the year, then I think it gives us a little bit of flexibility to add a little bit more. I would tend to agree with you. I want to talk to Drew next week when he's on here. Hopefully the kids are back healthy and everything. But yeah, I agree. Second place I think should be a little bit higher pot. Third place as well. It's quite an accomplishment to get to that point, which I'll know about here in just a couple of hours for the third place win.
Yeah.
And then, we can kind of reevaluate that stuff. But,
yeah,
I know you set your league at 125. I don't know. I got to take the temperature and see, like, what the people think a good number will be. I don't know if that's going to be like a 150 number or a little bit less or a little bit more, or what do people think?
Well, I think one thing we maybe should do is when we bring a new team in the league, like Logan should have been punished like this, he should pay the entry fee to get in the league for every team the first year in.
Well, now he's got enough money to do that.
I think that's maybe we'll have to charge him retroactively now. So if we raise it to 125, it's only 1,500. Then he could cover everybody's expensive, and then everybody will like him more and root for him a lot harder.
Yeah, and he'll still have money left over probably.
Yeah, he'll win again.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So are we doing away with the NFL team wins? Have we made that decision?
There was some pushback when I brought that up. I'm thinking about Kearns. No, not Kearns. I'm thinking about Kurt of the Bushwhackers talking about, hey, I want as many ways to win money as I possibly can. So, the thing that when I originally brought team wins to the league, in its original incarnation, there are 10 teams that play, but you have to pick 3 NFL teams to for the wins, and you get a lot more parity with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're excluding two teams if you do that in the CFFL, so it doesn't really work so great. I think the format is good. I just don't know if it works well for what we have. I think, especially now that we're doing this playoff best ball thing, I think maybe we substitute that for the team wins and kind of do away with the team wins. As you might be upset about this, but you don't need to win the NFL team wins to get into the Hall of Fame.
No, because a little secret, I have never won that team wins, and I've been historically really bad at it.
Yeah, so we wouldn't have any Hall of Famers then.
Well, if we do that, you still have one.
Yeah.
I mean, I am on the Mount Rushmore. I'm waiting for 3 more busts to be etched in the mountain.
I think Drew with his 3 wins would say that he's got to be up there. That's
Drew. Well, I would love to have Drew right next to me on the mountain.
Yeah. Who else would we put up there on the Mount Rushmore?
Well, name me teams that have won 3. We have Bill Brewer. Did Bill win 3? I think he did.
I think he did. Yeah, he's not in the league anymore.
We might have to chisel him out now. We might have to chisel that part of the mountain out. But he'd be a Hall of Famer. He's got 3.
He's a Hall of Famer. Let's hold on one second. Hold on. I got a little something. Bear with me. I got a list of the Hall of Famers here. Hold on one second.
I think everybody in the league's in the Hall of Fame. It's a watered down league. It's a watered down Hall of Fame.
You bite your tongue, young man. You bite your tongue. Hall of Fame.
I don't even stop by when I drive by the Hall of Fame anymore. I never even go in. It's like everybody's here.
All right, sharing this. Can you see this? Can you see this?
I can see it. Look at it. My gosh.
Now, I will say that 1, 2, 3, 4 of those guys aren't in the league anymore. Right?
Right.
So those are the people I think, if we're talking about Mount Rushmore, that's our list right there. So I think we got to put you on it. I think Bill with his first he's the first Hall of Famer in the league with Kurt.
There was some, the criteria was much lower then, obviously. They really changed everything in 2015.
I don't know. It is what it is. That's the list right there.
Can you go to the money winnings list? That's what, I'm not updated on that now. I want to.
Where is that? There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. That is, forget the wins. That is the number one thing criteria. And it's been a rough couple of years for me.
Yeah.
I've maybe lost my mojo. I might have to get Stella on my team to help me bring some mojo back.
I don't know. Yeah. Everybody's going to be creeping up that board. So
yeah.
Players Club coming up. I'll be coming up just slightly. Replacements
825 and another, would we say 500?
Yep.
1325. He's going to be fifth in 2 years. That's embarrassing.
That's
for
really
the rest of us. I mean, really. And we were with Logan in that other league for how many years? I don't remember him having this kind of success.
I think this format is what's great for him. He loves this format.
I think he just fell in a mud puddle and there was oil in the bottom of it. I don't know how this happened.
I don't know.
I think it's a blind squirrel here.
This is where we find ourselves.
Yeah.
Talking about him so
because he keeps winning. Claire wants to know why.
There's nothing wrong with him winning. Like, I don't get it. You win and yay.
You win and you're in. So we gotta settle this Mount Rushmore.
He's tough. He's tough.
So Mount Rushmore, we're talking Bill Brewer, yourself, Drew.
Well, I think 3 Super Bowls is the main criteria. The other stuff is, I mean, I've only won 2, but I've won everything else except for the wins pool.
Mm-hmm. So who's the 4th seat then?
Well, I think there's only 3 right now with you. I mean, they're starting to chisel your forehead in.
Yeah, but I only got 1, so I'm just happy to be here.
Right. Well, no, I guess they're going to erase you. I think they got the big thing out, taking you off and starting to chisel Logan in there.
Yeah, they got my forehead. They got Logan's nose and
they got Logan's lower half.
Yeah. It's like Marty McFly back when he's trying to rewrite the past and his face is changing and everything. You remember that?
Yeah, yes, I do. Let me ask you this. Of the 12 owners in there now, how many have not won a Super Bowl?
All right, let's go through it real quick here. Bear with me. All right, Clara, you help us out, okay?
What do I have to help with? What are we?
Golden Titans. You remember them winning a Super Bowl?
No, never.
No. You?
No.
Tsunami? Yeah, that's you.
2.
You've got
Sadly.
2. Bandits, he's in the Hall of Fame, so he's got
1.
Yep. Coyotes, original member, not won any.
None.
That's sad.
Replacements. We're about to settle that here in just a moment.
He could have his first one.
Yep.
The club's in.
He's got, how many does he have?
I think the club, maybe 2.
I think he got 1, and he was thrilled to get in because that's what got him into the Hall of Fame. Hold on. I'm going back.
He might only have 1, but he's been close a few times.
Back to the notes. Yeah, he got into the Hall of Fame 2022. That's the year that he won the Super Bowl. So he's got 1.
Okay.
The Bushwhackers. I know he's got 1 because he's in the Hall of Fame, but I don't remember him winning 1 recently.
I'm going to have to go back and see. I have to go back and look at. He has 1 for sure, maybe 2. We know Drew has 3. You have 1. The 69ers, the Kings and the Renegades haven't got it. So the 69ers, have they won 1?
No, I don't remember them winning 1.
Okay, so 3. Everybody in the Central after tonight will have a Super Bowl. So half the league has won Super Bowls and the other half hasn't.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about it? All right.
Yeah.
We split it up into 2 different sides.
Yeah. So Logan is tackling me and running to get up on the top of that mountain.
Yeah, he is starting to climb. He's on your shoulders right now, trying to reach up for that last ring.
All right. So Claire, our mission next year, we got to take him out.
Yeah.
We just got to take him out.
League wide, everybody. It's you know how we say Ohio versus the world. everybody versus Logan. A game
man.
every time.
And I know
It's a little rude.
it's a little rude, she says. I know he watches.
It's just between us. Nobody else is paying attention. Just the three of us. We're just talking here.
Well, I think other people are going to hear this later.
It's not personal. It's just business.
And we say it with love. We love Logan. We are
Out of
pro
respect.
Logan here.
Yeah. Jameer Gibbs, it'd be nice if we could get at least one touchdown before this game is over.
No, I want to go to bed with relaxed.
All right. You got any fantasy questions for the young lady before we sign off?
I really don't. But I do need to get Stella on Team Tsunami since Clara's 100% in with the Sharks.
Anything you want to say before you sign off, young lady?
Okay. No. Do you have any questions for me?
I tell you what. What's if you were don't
Shark bites.
let your classmate distract you, okay? If we were redrafting right now for the fantasy football season, because we're about to be for the playoffs, who would be your number one pick?
That's I don't think I can
You don't got that one?
answer that. No.
No. Okay. Let me ask you this. Would you rather have Jameer Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, or
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase? Yeah.
Definitely not him.
Anybody on that list jump out at you as like, hey, all right, yeah, out of those four, who do you like the best? Let me ask you that.
Who was the first one?
I think Jameer Gibbs. Is that the
Jameer
first one I
Gibbs.
said?
Yeah. I like Saquon Barkley,
He's good, isn't he?
and I like Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. Has it been fun rooting for Derrick Henry this year?
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I guess.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun
Yes.
during the first half of the season when he was running all over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had him in the other
Only
league.
3 points one time.
All right. I think this has been good. 3 generations. You know, we talked about 20 minutes, and I think we went a little bit longer than that, but this was a good time, Papa. Thanks for coming on short
Hey,
notice.
thanks for having me. Thanks for spending time. It's always great to spend time with my son and granddaughter. All I can say is watch out. There's a big wave coming. Don't look behind you.
No. Hey, good luck. You're
Well,
gonna
the Sharks just jumped over it, so I don't think
Oh.
it's coming for us anymore.
Better get
How do
down in the bottom. Go to the
How do you like
bottom.
it now?
Actually, and we're land sharks, so it's not going to hit us.
Oh, that's going to be worse for you.
Jameer
When
Gibbs.
the big wave comes, it's going to just bury the land.
Second and goal on the 10. Jameer Gibbs with the carry to the 6. All right, here we go. Stay tuned, viewers. Until next
Laporta, a little magic for the club. Little club magic.
Could it
You know,
be?
the club needs some field goals.
I know. I
Didn't
don't think
work for the club tonight.
Dan Campbell don't like kicking field goals.
He does not.
No.
No.
I like Dan Campbell.
Same.
I don't know much about him, but
The
yeah.
Lions head coach.
No, I know.
You know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's not one of my favorite coaches, but
Who is
Yeah.
your favorite coach?
I don't know.
Well, you
How about-
said not one of my favorites, so you have a list somewhere.
I got
Yeah,
it.
But like,
I got an
You got
update.
one?
Sam Laporta, touchdown.
I told you Laporta was going to get one.
Uh-oh.
bad news for us.
Maybe
All
a
right.
little too late.
Let's see. Stand by.
They didn't give him the points.
They're going to.
Cheating.
Do you have
Don't
a favorite
miss
coach?
the extra point, Bates.
I don't know.
Norman
They may-
Bates.
I like what's his name? The
Yeah, he's down 14.
Ravens.
You
I
like
got it on mine.
Ravens.
There you go.
Is that John Harbaugh for the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
Wait, you like John Harbaugh's, Clara?
Is there a hard box?
Harbaugh. His brother's
What-
a cheater. We can't root for
Oh.
Harbaughs, even though they're from Toledo.
2-point conversion. No extra point. Tim Patrick
Oh,
on the reception.
He doesn't like to kick.
So there we go. Game tied at 21. A lot of
This-
points left to be scored to
this kicker really left them down tonight. That's going to be the difference.
so far. All right, we got to get out of here. What do you
All
say?
right, get to bed, young lady. It's been fun.
I'm not going to bed right away.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm going to read my book.
Go Bucks as well. Happy New Year to all of you. Merry Christmas. It's been a pleasure.
What? I can't tell what you're doing.
OH.
I-O.
All right, kids. Good night.
Good night. Happy New Year.
Same here.
All right.